No intro music because I don't have StreamYard at the moment. I just wanted to comment. Oh, wait. I'm gonna wait a few minutes before I get into it. I always end up repeating myself anyway because people come in late. What it do? What it do indeed? We might prank call the. I don't know. I don't know if he'd have a sense of humor about it or not. We just might prank call the farmer I was working for today. That might be fun. I can't. Somebody gave me the idea. What's up, Blondie? Somebody gave me the idea of. So I'll call it maybe. I don't know. Let me think about it. He pays me. He pays cash. He pays by the day, and he pays good. I just fill in sometimes. Can you guys believe that they let me operate $1.2 million equipment? Oh yeah, and they know about the cocaine. All right, let's see who we got here. What's going on, Sea Monkey Queen? What's up, Juniper? What is up, General Sea Monkey? Yeah, shout out to General Sea Monkey. The thumbnail that I used, I stole from her. What's up, JFK? What's going on, Anthony? What's going on, Section 15? Oh, who else do we have here? What's going on, Todd? I'm doing all right. What's going on, Mo? What's up, Jules? Damn it, I forgot to re-rent you. I don't know if I can do that now or not. Let me look real quick. Let me see if I have that option. Yeah. Add as moderator. Yeah, this is a lot easier when just going straight to YouTube. Standard. All right. Yeah, I don't have managing mods. I have one, but she's never modded before in her life. I just gave it to her because I know her in real life. What is going on, Mr. Jeff? The cool Jeff. All right. So I listened to what's going on, Mr. Spokesman and co-founder. So I listened to. I felt like terrible last night. I don't know what it was. It didn't really last very long, but there was no way I was getting up on a panel. I didn't even type, but I did listen to some of what FCC said, and I heard some of what Sam said later on. But I went back kind of late. I don't know what all he said. As much as it fucking pains me to say it, but I agree with everything FCC said last night. At least what parts I heard, and I agree with what Sam was saying also. At least what parts I heard. What's going on, cops behind us? Now, here's my take on it. And forgiving people and accepting apologies and all that sappy shit is fine. I've accepted a great number of apologies myself up here. But I don't ever forget. And just because I accept an apology doesn't mean I'm ever going to trust that motherfucker again or that I even want anything to do with them. You know, the Sea Monkeys, we stand on our own. We don't need a side. We don't need a group of people backing us up. I come up here by myself most of the time. So people can like hurt people and do a lot of damage, but well, they apologized, so whatever. We'll let them roam around again so that they can fuck us over again later on, and not to mention all the peripheral people that don't want to see some of these people around, and they shouldn't have to. I mean, we were all. Uh, I as close as you can get on the internet. There's a difference between internet friends and real life friends. I agree with that. But he flipped on us on the turn of a dime for no apparent reason. And if you think that it can't happen again, you're wrong. And I understand. I don't want to beef with anybody. I really don't. But there comes a time when you just got to say, fuck a motherfucker. And now that uh, the Nununite ship is sinking, all the rats are floating up to the top and swimming over here. Like, you know, I'm sorry. Can we be cool now? I mean, I understand we can be cool. I'll be very cool with anybody, but I'm not gonna forget what you did. And I think it's weak when people do. I just think it's weak. I think it's weak that people feel like they have to be in a clique or on a side somewhere instead of standing up on their own. Like there's no backbone around here. And people care more about their fucking channels than anything else. I think that's weak too. Well, I know that this person I have on panel is hurting people and fucking with people's lives, but they draw views, so I'm still going to have them up. Yeah, fuck you. If that's your sole reason for having a channel, you can go fuck yourself. I don't need you in my corner. That's the thing, Cool Jeff, is I set up here and I called all this shit out. I told everybody what was going to happen. All this shit that's going down now. Uh, I called this out months ago. I was off on the timeline. It took longer than I thought it would, but every single thing about every single person that I told you was going to happen has happened. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not any smarter than anybody else. It's because it's fucking history. This has all happened before with some of the same people, some with different people. Like it's so easy to fucking, if you just pay attention and stop with your short term memories or uh, making alliances so that you can be just a little bit more comfortable. Fuck everybody else. As long as it makes you feel good, as long as it gets you views, then that's all you need. And I think that's weak. Will Warbot ever put John Davis in jail? No, and I'll tell you why. Because Warbot would have to give up his identity in order to do that, and I don't blame him for not wanting to. I found out the only reason Warbot hasn't been doxxed yet is because the people that want to do it are incompetent. I fucking found out who he was. It took me like 5 minutes, and I'm never gonna fucking come off of it. He knows that I know who he is, and he also knows that I'm never gonna fucking tell anybody. No, nobody is undoxable. I mean, Twomper thought that he was undoxable. Now we had to set up. I had to, I had to set up a whole lot of bullshit to flush him out because I wasn't exactly sure which one he was, but it worked. And, we've found out who some other people are that thought that they were super slick. Everybody fucks up somewhere. If you're trying to hide, you have to get lucky every day. But the person hunting you only has to get lucky once. And I realize that I'm totally wasting my breath. Nothing I say is going to change anything or help anything. I just think we're surrounded by a bunch of spineless motherfuckers all the way around. And when shit explodes back up in their face again, they're going to be all surprised, I mean, and I'm just using Damone as an example. He's by far not the only one. But he came over to that quote unquote side already and flipped. He's flip flopped back and forth already. So if you think that making him at home here, and again, I don't want to beef with anybody. I'm just saying, when you try to make friends out of people that have repeatedly fucked you over, you're setting yourself up to get fucked over again, and I'm not going to feel sorry for you. And that's kind of what spawned the sea monkey thing. There's a whole lot of us that don't really uh, feel like we can. Oh, and by the way, there are no ride or die people around here. It doesn't exist. I could even say how many people have told me that they were my ride or die, but as soon as something happens that'll get them more views or make them more comfortable, yep, fuck you. So I don't trust any of these motherfuckers. I really don't. But it's just the idea that that ship is sinking or already sunk or whatever. And now people that have done nothing but talk shit about us and try to make people uncomfortable and go at them and go at them. Now all of a sudden, because they can't stand on their own and their ship is sinking, they want to jump onto ours. Nah. I'm not going to drown you on purpose, but I'm not going to throw you a fucking life preserver either. You never used me for views. No, Jules, I don't feel like you did. I wasn't. No, you never used me for views, for views, Jules. That's a hard thing to say 5 times real fast. And then I get people in my DMs. Um, we have to. And anybody that I've DM'd with about this, you're more than welcome to show any of it. I don't care. Like we have to be fake friends, to look like we're strong. Fuck that. Use Bill for hey, if you have a sponge that's cut out my image and it brings you joy, keep on using it, Locks Grandma. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't be cool with people. Um, It's cool. It's cool to be cool with people and get along or whatever, and be cordial. I'm not saying that you have to be at each other all the time. Um, you know, being cordial to each other and what have you. That's you should. Uh, but showing these people any amount of trust or using people that are obviously mentally ill for views. No, I mean, I have not let Jeff up here in a long time because he's obviously same thing. I like about a third of the regular panel people I don't even let up here unless I'm talking shit about them. But even with Jeff, I'm not giving him the fucking space. Sponge Bill. Oh man. Yeah. By all means, be cordial. But I just can't. Like with Vic, he triggers so many people that will leave. Obviously, he draws in more than what leave, but I accepted his apology because I know that there are things in his head that he can't control. I understand that, but I'm not gonna forget what he did, and I'm not gonna give him the space to. Even though he wants to just talk about his wood, him just being there triggers a lot of people that have done nothing wrong. The last time he was up here, we had a bit of a discussion. He said he was taking accountability, but he really isn't. He's just saying that he has. Taking accountability taking accountability requires more than an apology. And I understand not wanting to be. I understand that people that have gone at you for a year, uh, all of a sudden and it's not for your benefit, it's for theirs. Just because they feel like they have to be on a team or on a side or whatever, they don't really give a fuck about you. Their opinion on the inside has probably not changed. Either they never really believed certain things about you and went with it anyway because they got approval from certain people for it. And now they don't rock with those people anymore. They just want to come straight to you. Fuck that, because they will flip on you on a dime again. Yeah, Mo, I try to. It's kind of where the sea monkey thing comes in. Is I mean, of course I will do panels, but most of the time I just like to get on here and bullshit with my chat. There are certain people around here I'm not giving them a place to spread their bullshit. And I don't need 5 people up here with me to feel comfortable. Well, I did unban Damone on a probationary basis. So uh, he is welcome to chat in here. And I might even let him. I can't I can't do it right now because I'm out of StreamYard hours, but I'd probably let him up anyway. But as far as like I'm not giving somebody like Jeff the opportunity. Fuck him. He wants to threatened suicide to get his way. And he has turned the people that were closest to him, the people that stuck with him the longest, he fucking turned on them. He has no. When we think of sociopaths or whatever, and again, I'm not a doctor, I can't diagnose anybody, but we think of like these, uh, violent type people, but sociopaths run the other way too. He he does not care that he looks like a fool. As long as he's getting attention of some kind, it fuels him. And we keep giving him that fuel. And he's going to do this shit all over again. What's up, Susan? Oh, yeah, MasterCard. He's done that several times. Yeah, moments I was talking about Vic too. I mean, a little bit ago, and just let's right back in like nothing ever happened. And I guarantee you he's going to do it all over again. Again, I mean, accepting an apology or whatever, if you can forgive, fine. If that's what it takes to, you know, mend your soul or whatever, that's fine. But there was a time, and I always hated this term. I always hated it. There was a time when they called Ed and I the gatekeepers of the community. There was a time when we would have run these motherfuckers off. And we did. We ran quite a few people off for less. Yes, Carl, the great gatekeepers. I hated that shit, but the reality of it is at one time it was it was true. At one time, uh, we actually did good things, but that shit got all twisted when everybody wanted to have that title or whatever. It became something that didn't start out as. Yeah, Section 15. Talking to Jeff is a complete waste of time. Like there's a part of his brain that is completely missing, and it's the part that registers empathy. He has no empathy. He does not give a fuck about anybody but himself. Mr. Peanut Butter days. Yeah, there were several more than Mr. Peanut Butter, but the thing is, the way I used to do it was you never heard about it. The people just fucking disappeared. I didn't need to, uh, and Ed did some too, but I didn't need to get the attention. You know what I mean? It actually doing it publicly just makes it worse because then they have to come out and defend themselves. Uh, but if you go to them, I mean, this shit with Mr. Peanut Butter was not supposed to go public. He was just supposed to go, and that's what it was supposed to be worked out at. But somebody else opened their mouth about it on their channel, and well, you know the rest of the story. But there were more worse than him, actually, that all of a sudden just weren't around anymore. No, I've not seen anything of Jeff today. But I've seen him say, "Well, I don't know why Bill doesn't like me." It's like he's stupid. Yeah. How many people I've had to defend people that I don't like because Jeff called them a chomo or insinuated that they were. I had to defend Damone Cap and whoever else because I don't, even if I don't like somebody, I don't go for calling them a fucking chomo if they aren't. Gatekeeper or Captain Save-A-Ho. They're both equally horrible. I don't want to be either one. Of course, I know I'm forgetting to say some shit that I had all planned out in my head. Yeah, doing this kind of stuff privately, it works. Like, I don't think people really care about. Uh, there's no integrity here anymore at all. Nobody cares about that. You know, we got to make a panel out of fucking everything, which spawns 5 more 6 hour long panels. I got bored with all of it a long time ago. Some men you just can't reach. What we have here is failure to communicate. He doesn't want to change. Like, telling Jeff to get help is pointless. Like, he does not want to change. He doesn't think there's anything wrong with him. Like, if you want to speak in these kinds of terms, for lack of a better way to speak about it, uh, I don't think Jeff really has a soul. I think he's an empty shell. And people making excuses for him, well, he was drunk and whatever. He was a lying motherfucker before he fell off the wagon. He's always been this way. It's just that, and he's always tried to act like he knows everybody's stuff. Or when he comes out with these big, you know, uh, breaking news, it's shit that fucking we knew about 6 months ago. Uh, but some of us kept it quiet for a reason. or some of it was already out there. Apparently, he forgot. But he has. I've been sent screenshots where he told this girl that she was going to be doxxed, but he stopped it, and she was freaked the fuck out because I'm the only one that knows her name. And she's like, "Did you tell him?" I'm like, "Fuck." I'm still kind of hurt that she even considered that I would do that. Uh, but apparently Jeff had hit her up and said, "Oh, you were going to be doxxed, but I stopped it." So, and she freaked the fuck out and called me and was not happy. And yeah, he does that kind of shit. And he's not above blackmailing people. Oh yeah, God knows that I've been on here all fucked up all to hell and said really dumb things that I regret. Um, but to constantly use the same excuse over and over again, it's bullshit. I mean, the obvious thing to do is just to stop fucking watching him. Stop letting him up on your fucking panels. But they won't because he draws views. I mean, they care more about how many people are watching than what is actually going on. And I think that that's weak too. There is no magic solution, FCC, but I don't know if you were listening earlier, and it pains me to admit this, but I agreed with everything I heard you say last night. I was really feeling real, real shitty. So I wasn't about to go up on a panel or even, I didn't even feel like typing in the chat, but I agreed with everything I heard you say. There's no perfect answer, but just stop giving this motherfucker a place to do his bullshit. He doesn't care who he hurts. And we all know what he's going to do. We all know how he is. And giving him a place to do it makes you just as bad. And I don't mean you, FCC, I mean everybody. Bill always knew you were right about clown forces. He never said hi to you over 2 years, which made you sus of him. Then he gets exposed. That's the thing. Everybody loves a train wreck. And I'm not. Fuck, I rubberneck too. I'm just as guilty of looking at, you know, stuff that's, surprising or whatever. But the thing with Jeff is it's not a surprise. We already know what it's gonna look like. And people won't stop watching it. Uh, to think that they will is a fallacy. But I would hope that people will have a little bit of backbone and just stop letting him up. Not everybody wants to see it, and I mean, it's getting people are getting bored with it anyway. So yeah, I mean, he's a fucking confirmed doxer. Allowing him to have a wrench on your channel is irresponsible, in my opinion. And the same thing with letting him up on panel. He could blurt out somebody's name at any time, and we know that he's capable of it because we've seen him do it a few times. So really, if he does it on your channel, you're just as responsible. Yeah, I unsubbed from Jeff I turned off notifications for Jeff a long time ago, and I actually made a short to show people how to unsub. Did that a few weeks ago. It's not hard, people. I unsub from a lot of people or turn notifications off, and I don't miss it. Big YouTube money, right? Yeah, Jeff, don't. That happens sometimes. People are born without arms or legs, and some people are born without that part of the. Well, fuck me, I keep losing connection. I called Jeff out back then. I mean, they had this whole panel on locksmiths where like everybody was going to call him out for lying, and then he gets up there. This was like when he was just getting started or whatever, or shortly after. And then he gets up there and everybody's treating him with kid gloves like they do now. And like the chat was all calling him out, but the people on the panel weren't doing jack shit. And I admit I was drunk, but I would have done it sober too. I went up and like, Jeff, I'm just gonna say everybody's thinking that you are full of shit, man. So he's been called out. Is Jeff a better catcher than PHI? I'm gonna have to say no because even though the far and few between, PHI has gotten quite a few more catches than Jeff, and I've never suspected that PHI was faking any of it. Jeff, on the other hand, I think that when they caught I got in trouble for saying tranny on YouTube. I'm going to say it anyway. I think that once they realized they had a tranny on their hands, that individual was going to get caught no matter what, whether they said anything sexual or not, because they know it would bring views. And I think they kind of had a thing for it. No, it's a problem on my end, Jules. Yeah, there are no chicks with tits, only guys with tits. I don't know. Am I wrong here? Gosh darn it. You know what, guys? I don't know if I'm gonna be back in a few minutes or not. I'm gonna just change locations. I think I've said all I need to say, but I got no signal at my actual house, so uh all right. I don't know. Is this Friday? Fuck, it is Friday. I don't know if Locke's doing his usual Friday thing or not, or he's doing it at the regular time. I'm sure somebody uh, will go live. Uh, if I'm not back live in about 15 minutes, I'm probably not coming back. Let me find a better place to do this from. I think I really said all I have to say anyway. All right, y'all. If I'm not back in 15, I probably won't be back. But I appreciate you listening to me whine. All right, y'all stay naked.